and welcome to Senora Tommy's Biblioteca on YouTube. YouTube. If you haven't already, you should have subscribed and you should smack the bell so that you can get notifications and you will never miss a video. So today is Time Capsule Friday. We are working our way through the COVID 2020, the 2020 COVID-19 time capsule. So we are working our way through. I just took a look at mine and I realized that we are on pages 7 and 8. So we are working our way through. I think we have maybe 4 more pages left, which means we'll have to do something else on Friday, but I'm sure I can think of something. So remember, we have talked about it before, but I will recap. The time capsule is an important item while we are sheltering in place and staying safe at home, because it does give you a snapshot of what is going on in your life at this particular time. I always share with you how old I am. I am 40, and something like this has never happened before yet in my 40 years. And so it is kind of interesting to have a little snapshot of who I am at this point in time. What are the things I like? What do I not like? What am I doing with my time while I'm sheltering in place and staying at home? And so this is something that, of course, we are working on together so that you can have the same piece of, history for yourself to look back on. So last week we did, I just passed them, so I'm just gonna recap really fast. Last week we did the My Community page, and we did the You Are Not Stuck at Home, You Are Safe at Home page, and we talked about some of the things that we are doing to keep ourselves busy. I am continuing to do all of these things still, and so that is a ton of fun, including watching more Netflix, very fun, and reading and riding my bike. I ride my bike about every day for an hour. Pretty cool. Okay, so the next pages in our time capsule is the special occasions page. And it says on this page, what occasions did you celebrate during this time? Write the list down here and what you did to celebrate. And so it has the event, the date, and how you celebrated. And I looked back at my calendar. I used to look at my calendar every day, and I have not looked at it as often. And so I looked back and I could only find 2 things that were like a holiday that have happened while we have been sheltering in place. And we have not had any birthdays or any anniversaries or major celebrations as of yet. So the 2 things that I wrote down for mine were the event was St. Patrick's Day, and the date for that was March 17th. And then it says how we celebrated, and I put, we forgot about it. I think that like randomly in the middle of the day, we were like, hey, it's St. Patrick's Day. And then we kind of looked to see if anyone was wearing green, and that was pretty much it. But I think it was because it was early on, like we had just closed school, and so we were just a few days into being at home, and I think things felt very strange still, and so I think we just forgot that like there was St. Patrick's Day. So that was my first one. So my second one was Easter. And the date on Easter this year was April 12th. And how we celebrated was I put we got steak from Texas Roadhouse, because those of you who are at home have probably been eating a lot of food at home, right? So mom or dad or someone who likes to cook in your house has been spending a lot of time in the kitchen and has been cooking up meals for you more often than you probably have had before. So I think our meal out to Texas Roadhouse on Easter was one of the very first meals that we had eaten out. And we had gotten, like some steak and mashed potatoes and some fun stuff like that that we don't normally eat. We don't eat a lot of steak around here. We're chicken people. And ground beef. It's cheaper. You know how it is. All right. So that is, okay, so for next week, this is where you should be. So you should be doing the special occasions page, right? So this is the one that you should be working on because this is where we are. We're on pages 7 and 8. So special occasions paper, this one, homework, next Friday. And then the next page in our time capsule is our handprints. And it says print the hands of all the people living in your home in different colors and place your hands here. So I have like these different colored like scrapbook papers that I randomly have because I have random stuff in my home. And what I did was I just traced everybody's hand in my house. I just took it on a piece of paper, traced their hand, cut it out, and then I glue sticked it, used my glue stick, and I glued it on this piece of paper. So it's kind of interesting because when my kids were smaller, it was like dad's hand was the biggest hand, and then mom's hand was the next hand, and then Christopher, and then Benjamin, and they were like, you could see the size difference. But now, since the boys are getting so big in my house, you can't really see the size difference anymore. So your hands at home might look way better than my hands because all of our hands are almost the same size. So the blue one back here is my husband's. The yellow one is mine. Green is Christopher's. Look how big his hand is. Like, look at his hand is like bigger than mine almost. I think it might be bigger. So then Christopher's, Benjamin's, it's not that much. In fact, Benjamin and I almost have the same size hand. So maybe not as adorable as some of yours will be, but this is our handprints of all the people that I am staying safe at home with. So next week, pages 7, right? 7, your special occasions page, and page 8, which is our handprint page. This is where you should be if you are following along and doing your COVID-19 2020 time capsule with me. So I hope that you are doing this. If you still haven't started and you would like to start, please check that the bottom in the comments of this YouTube video, there is a link so that you can print out a PDF and you can start this on at home. You can go back and watch the other week's videos. They'll kind of talk you through it if you'd like to see some of the stuff that I have been doing. So we are all set for today. I will see you next week when we start again a new week and do a new picture book for Monday. Have a good weekend. See you later.